Imagine waking up this morning, walking into the bathroom and reaching for your toothbrush. You squeeze out the toothpaste, brush for 2 minutes, rinse your mouth, and you're done. It feels so normal that it's easy to forget how strange this whole routine actually is. Because for most of human history, there was no tube of toothpaste waiting beside the water, no plastic toothbrush, no dentist telling you to floss, no fluoride, and definitely no little timer reminding you that you've been brushing for exactly 2 minutes. But your ancestors still had teeth, and they still had to eat. So what happened when those teeth started hurting? Because a toothache today is annoying, a toothache 50,000 years ago could become something much serious. And the surprising part is that ancient humans weren't simply walking around with rotten teeth. Some of them had surprisingly healthy mouths. Others had teeth so worn down that they looked almost nothing like ours. So how did they actually take care of them? The answer starts with something you might already have in your backyard: a stick. For most of human history, people didn't need to think about toothpaste, because toothpaste wasn't doing the main job anyway. The most important part of cleaning your teeth is physically disturbing the buildup that forms on them, and humans figured out how to do that long before anyone invented a modern toothbrush. One simplest solution was a small twig. You could take a thin branch, chew one end until the fibers separated, and suddenly you had something that looked surprisingly similar to a tiny brush. You could rub it across your teeth, push it between them, scrape away food, and use the rough fibers to disturb the layer building up around your gums. These are called chew sticks, and versions of them have been used by different cultures for centuries. And here's where things get interesting. Some of these sticks weren't just random pieces of wood. Certain plants were chosen because their fibers, compounds, or natural properties made them useful for cleaning the mouth. One famous example is miswak, a traditional chewing stick made from the Salvador persica tree. It's still used today in many parts of the world. But here's the important distinction. We can't look at a prehistoric human and say they definitely brushed their teeth with this exact plant. Wood usually doesn't survive thousands of years in the archaeological record. So when we're talking about the earliest humans, the evidence is much harder to see. Instead, archaeologists have something else. Something that survives remarkably well: their teeth. Your teeth are basically tiny time capsules. Every meal leaves traces, every environment leaves traces, and sometimes even the microscopic particles you breathe or chew can become trapped in the hardened material around your teeth. This material is called dental calculus, basically calcified plaque, and archaeologists absolutely love it. Because inside ancient dental calculus, researchers can find microscopic remains of food, plant material, microorganisms, and other particles that reveal what people were eating and sometimes even what they were doing. Imagine finding a skeleton that's thousands of years old. There's no written diary, no grocery list, no photograph. But sitting on the person's teeth is evidence of what they ate. Their teeth can tell you a story that the rest of the skeleton can't. And that story gets even more interesting when we look at the teeth themselves. Because ancient humans didn't just have different ways of cleaning their teeth, they had different diets, and that may have mattered more than toothpaste ever did. Think about what you eat today: soft bread, pasta, candy, cookies, sugary drinks, processed foods. Everything is designed to be easy to chew. Now imagine replacing much of that with food that hasn't been processed for you: seeds, roots, fibrous plants, tough meat, dried foods, and occasionally things containing tiny particles of grit in sand. Your teeth become tools, not just for eating, but for processing food that can be extremely hard on them. And we can actually see the damage. Ancient teeth often show incredible amounts of wear. Some were worn down from years of chewing tough and abrasive foods. But there's a strange twist. A diet that was hard on your teeth wasn't necessarily the same thing as a diet that caused lots of cavities. Because cavities depend heavily on what happens inside your mouth after you eat. And one major problem is sugar and easily fermentable carbohydrates. Bacteria use these carbohydrates and produce acids that attack tooth enamel. So when human diets changed dramatically with agriculture and later with increasingly processed foods, oral health changed too. This means the answer to our question isn't simply ancient humans didn't have toothpaste, so their teeth must have been terrible. It's much more complicated. In fact, some hunter-gatherer populations had different dental problems from later agricultural communities. Researchers studying thousands of teeth from ancient populations in the southern Levant found differences between hunter-gatherers and early agricultural groups. The hunter-gatherers showed more severe tooth wear and periodontal disease, while the early agricultural groups had higher levels of dental calculus. Why? Because changing the way you eat changes the environment inside your mouth. Once people began relying more heavily on cultivated grains and other carbohydrate-rich foods, the chemistry of their mouths changed. Food became easier to produce. Civilization became easier to sustain, but our teeth paid part of the price. And eventually, humans developed something that sounds incredibly familiar: a toothbrush. The modern toothbrush didn't suddenly appear out of nowhere. The idea had been developing for a long time. People in different parts of the world used various forms of sticks, fibers, and other tools to clean their teeth. Then, during China's Tang dynasty, roughly between the 7th and 10th centuries, toothbrushes with handles and bristles appeared. Some early versions used bamboo or bone handles, with bristles made from animal hair. But even then, toothpaste as we know it today wasn't the thing making all the difference. The brush was physically scrubbing the teeth, and the cleaning materials used alongside it varied enormously across time and cultures. People experimented with powders, abrasives, plant materials, and other substances. Some probably worked reasonably well. Others were much less pleasant. Because once you realize that your teeth are accumulating something on their surface, the instinctive human solution is pretty obvious: scrape it off. But here's the part that makes the story darker. What happened when scraping wasn't enough? What happened when a tooth cracked, or became infected, or developed an abscess? Today, you make an appointment. A dentist examines the tooth. You get an X-ray, maybe a filling, maybe a root canal, maybe antibiotics. And if the tooth can't be saved, someone removes it safely. For most of human history, none of those options existed. Dental infections could become extremely painful and dangerous. Archaeological remains show evidence of cavities, abscesses, periodontal disease, tooth loss, and severe wear. And because dental calculus can preserve biological evidence so well, scientists can reconstruct surprisingly detailed stories about ancient oral health. A toothache wasn't always something you could simply wait out. Sometimes there was no solution. Sometimes the tooth came out, and sometimes the infection could become a much bigger problem, which makes something as ordinary as brushing your teeth feel very different. Because every morning when you stand in front of your bathroom mirror, you're doing something humans have been trying to do for an incredibly long time. You're trying to keep your teeth. The tools changed, the materials changed, the science changed, but the problem didn't. Ancient humans didn't wake up and wonder whether their toothpaste contained fluoride. They had no idea what bacteria were. They didn't know about plaque or enamel or the chemistry behind cavities. They simply knew that their teeth mattered. So they used whatever the world around them gave them: a twig, a fiber, a piece of cloth, an abrasive powder, a plant, or sometimes nothing at all. And their teeth recorded the consequences. That's what makes ancient teeth so fascinating. They're not just bones, they're evidence. They tell us what humans ate, where they lived, how their diets changed, what diseases they suffered, and sometimes even how they tried to take care of themselves. So the next time you squeeze toothpaste onto your toothbrush, remember, the toothbrush in your hand is the latest chapter in a story that began long before anyone knew what a toothbrush was. Before toothpaste, there were sticks. Before dentists, there were improvised tools. And before anyone understood bacteria, humans were already doing something remarkably familiar:
trying to keep their teeth alive.